Hi everyone, in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the cluster V-stitch pattern that I used to make this crochet wrap. It's a beautiful stitch pattern that you can use for just about anything that you want. The stitch multiple is a multiple of 6 plus 2, and you can use any yarn and hook size that you want. I'm using a number 4 worsted weight cotton and an I 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. And for this tutorial I'm going to make a dishcloth. So we're just going to get started with a slip knot, and we're going to chain a multiple of 6 plus 2. So in this case we're going to chain 26. Okay, so that's our 26 chains. And then we're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we're going to skip the first chain and we're going to single crochet into the second chain. And we're going to single crochet into the next chain. Okay, and then we're going to skip this next chain here, and we're going to work a cluster V-stitch in the next chain. So we're going to wrap the yarn over, insert our hook, wrap the yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on the hook. We're going to wrap the yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then we're going to do that again. We're going to wrap the yarn over, insert our hook into the same chain, wrap the yarn over and pull through, and we're going to wrap the yarn over and pull through 2 loops. We got 3 loops on the hook, wrap the yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so that's the first half, and then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So we're going to wrap the yarn over, insert our hook into the same chain, wrap the yarn over and pull through, wrap the yarn over and pull through 2 loops, yarn over, going into the same chain, wrap the yarn over and pull through, wrap the yarn over and pull through 2 loops, got 3 loops left, wrap the yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, so that is your cluster V-stitch. You could also call this as a shell. Okay, so then for this pattern we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to skip the next 2 chains. So we're going to skip this chain and that chain, and we're going to single crochet into the next chain, and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to skip the next 2 chains again, and we're going to work another cluster V-stitch into this chain right here. So it's basically a double crochet 2 together. Okay, so that's the first leg, 1 double crochet 2 together. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to make another double crochet 2 together in the same chain. Okay, chain 1, and we're going to skip the next 2 chains, single crochet into the next chain. And we're going to do that all the way across. We're going to chain 1, skip 2 chains, and work your cluster V-stitch in the next chain. Okay, so we're up to the last 3 chains here, and we're going to skip this chain, and we're going to single crochet into the last 2 chains. Okay, and then we're going to turn our work. I'm going to chain 2. These 2 chains do not count as a stitch. I'm going to double crochet into the first 2 single crochets. Okay, then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into the space of this cluster V-stitch here. and chain 1, and then we're going to work a cluster V stitch into the single crochet. Okay, so we're at the end here now, and we're going to got our chain 1, and we're going to double crochet into the last 2 single crochets. Okay, and then we're just going to keep repeating that. We're going to turn our work, going to chain 1, and now we're going to start with the single crochets. So we're going to single crochet into these 2 double crochets, and then we're going to work our cluster V stitch into the first single crochet, whoops, and we're going to chain 1, single crochet into the space of the cluster V stitch, chain 1, and cluster V stitch in the single crochet. Okay, so here we are at the end, and we're just going to finish with a cluster V stitch in the last single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet into the last 2 double crochets. Okay, so then the last 2 rows form the pattern, and we're just going to continue to work those 2 rows, and I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the edging. Okay, so I went for 16 rows. I finished with pattern row 2 with the double crochets at the beginning and at the end of the row, and now we're just going to work single crochets all around, and we're going to do 3 single crochets into each corner. So to get started here, I'm just going to chain 1, and we're going to work our first single crochet right into the top of the double crochet, the last double crochet that we made. Okay, so that's our first stitch for the corner, and then we're going to crochet along the sides here, and it doesn't really matter where you throw your hook as long as you're consistent. Okay, and you just want to make sure that your work is laying flat, and it's looking pretty good here, so I'm just going to keep going with this. Okay, so we're at the next corner here, and we're just going to pick up the free loop here, and and we're going to work 3 single crochets into this corner. And we're going to turn our work, and we're going to work 1 single crochet into each free loop all the way across. Then I'll come back and I'll show you how to do the join. Okay, so here we are at the end. I've worked 1 single crochet into this double crochet here, and that's the first single crochet that we made in the last double crochet, and we're going to work another 2 double crochets into this double crochet right here, and that'll be our corner increase there so that it lays nice and flat. And then we're going to join that with a slip stitch, and then you could go with this, but I'm gonna do 1 more row of single crochets. So I'm just gonna chain 1 single crochet into each stitch around, and once again we're gonna do 3 single crochets into each corner. Okay, so we're at the last corner again, and there is our middle single crochet of our last increase. So we're just going to throw 3 single crochets in that one. And then we're going to join that with a slip stitch, and we're going to fasten it off, and we're all set.